Hi, Karin and I would like to welcome you to our virtual closing. Beginning June 2nd or 3rd, you will see a beach umbrella icon on your laptop, but this is the link to the summer checkout. We considered your feedback from last year's checkout and hope that we've made some changes to give you the information you need in a simple format, and we've provided ways for you to deliver information back to the admin team to ensure a smooth ending of the school year. For those of you who were at Robinson last year, you will note a few changes. You requested a printable list of agenda deadlines, which is now on the front page and the checklist page of the website. Where you see Robinson end of the year, you asked for a printable form, so that's what we've given you as well. That would be here in the checklist. So you could go to checklist and scroll down to the bottom, and way down here it says print page, and you could print that page. We also have on the left hand column the checklist, and all of these are linkable as well. When I click on the link that was on my desktop, it brings me to the home screen. If you can't remember your Google account password, you can go to Blackboard and reset your password for your Google account. You will need to use your computer network login and password to get started. So let's start on the home screen of the checkout, and let's first look at that staff spreadsheet. This is where you check your progress. Staff members have view rights and cannot edit this document. The document groups teachers by department, high school and middle school teachers, and are alphabetized in that group. So if I look at this spreadsheet, it starts with art. It lists all of the high school teachers, and they are alphabetical over here. And then we move to art teacher, who's still listed by the county as elementary school, even though she is no longer elementary school. We go into assessment coach, and then we go into auto tech, and then we go into band. So band high school, band middle school, then moving into high school biology. So to look for your name, you would first look alphabetically to try to find your name. If I were looking for myself, I'd look under school-based technology specialist. So I'd go down to the S's. And there I'd find myself in there as well. Okay. Going across, you'll note a few columns. My name, my title, my Fairfax County email address, and then you come into form count. The yellow items are forms that need to be completed in the checklist. As they are submitted, they're linked to this form column, and when the form is submitted, it is marked with a 1 and the number calculated into this formula. So when I filled out my summer contact information, this registered a 1, and that 1 gets calculated in my total number of forms. So you really don't have to do anything because it's automatic. When I submit my senior failure form, it automatically triggers a 1, and that 1 goes into my form count. You are required to submit a form for summer contact senior failures unless you don't teach a single senior, and then you should see a 1 pre-populated in that column. Middle school underclass failures unless you don't teach middle school or underclassmen, at which point we have populated a 1 in that column for you. A laptop form, unless you were not issued a laptop, and then you would see a 1 in that column, and a department checkout form. The form count then has a maximum of 5. The signature count, on the other hand, is made up of 7 columns in blue, which require you to do something that requires somebody else to sign you out. When you have a total of 12 items, you will note that complete changes from the red cell no if you look at my column here to, let's give Karan a 1 in her middle school. We're going to pretend she's filled out this form. And then you'll notice that when this sum of those columns turns to 12, that red no miraculously becomes a green yes. At that point, you are ready to head to the main office to get your last signature from either Mike Mukai, Susan Tyson, or Matt Eline if he doesn't have to go to a required conference that takes him out of the building. So, how do you know what to do to get all those signatures and counts? There are a variety of ways, all of which take you to the same place. If I go to the checklist on the home screen, below the video, it tells me what needs to happen. Most things are action, some things are information. So if I click on action for senior failures, it takes me to the senior failure form that I have to complete. I read the directions carefully, and it tells me within 24 hours after the exam has been given, teachers, not counselors, notify parent guardian of failure. Everyone must complete last name, first name, and at least the first student failure box with none if you have no student failures. So if you teach a single senior, you're required to fill out first name, last name, your FCPS Outlook email address, and if I had no failures, I would type none. If I had any failures, it tells me to type the last 4 digits of the student ID number. Please don't put the entire number there. The class failed, and then go down to what it's asking us is all of the methods that I use to contact the parent regarding the student's failure. So whatever methods you used, you would check there. Scroll all the way down and click the Submit button. After that, when you've submitted it, it will automatically bring it back to that checklist, and you would have gotten credit for submitting your failure form. Items marked information are there for reference. So if I click Summer Opportunities, it's an information item. It's going to take me here, and it's going to give you opportunities that we have that you may be interested for professional development over the summer. On the right-hand side is an agenda with deadlines. Now this is also clickable. So let's say I was looking at, let's scroll down to when you might be looking at these. And let's go to Wednesday, June 18th, and I want to find out about the high school period 5 exam. So I click that, and I find out that that exam is 7:20 to 9:25. Click it again, it goes away. If I wanted to know about the middle school period 5 exam, I click here, and I know that middle school only goes to 9:10. Click the title, and it goes back to the way it is. Okay, this agenda is printable, so you would just click the print if you wanted to print the copy of that agenda. Remember that this is always going to be on your desktop. A couple of things I want to showcase. First, look at the middle school underclassmen grade export. I'm going to click Action. And each of these are steps. And I know it looks like there's a lot of steps there, but they're short, and each one of them is something else that you have to do in the checkout process. One thing I really want to point out in step 1, for those of you who teach classes that are mixed, in other words, you have 9, 10, and 11th graders as well as seniors. Because you're exporting your senior grades earlier than your underclassmen, you want to make sure that you pay attention to this section for classes with seniors and underclassmen and use the directions for replace task. Following these directions prevents you from inadvertently counting fourth quarter twice in calculating your year grade. So while there are numerous steps in the entire process, it's important that you consider each of them when working on your grades at the end of the school year.
Let's take a look at the process for keys. There are some changes this year. Click on the Action button for keys located under the Info Action section. You will see that we must complete the form and have it signed by an administrator and bring our keys to security with the signed form regardless of whether or not they are kept over the summer. This is necessary to get an accurate inventory. The page on Technology Laptop Return can be found under the Housekeeping tab. You can also go back to the home screen and find it in the lower left panel under the video. Click on the Action button, or you can also access it from the checklist. So let's go click on the Technology and Classroom Cleanup. This will take you to the Technology Equipment page. We would like you to please pay careful attention to the presentation cart instructions in particular, because we have over 5 programs here this summer, and those FCPS employees will need access to this equipment as well. So please make sure that all equipment is left on the presentation cart, not stored elsewhere. Disconnect anything that goes into a wall at the wall. Leave wires and cables plugged into equipment, but disconnected from the wall. These include power, network connection cables, and coax cables. Put your remotes in a Ziploc bag and leave them inside your cart. Label your cart with your room number. That way the custodial staff can move your cart for cleaning, but they don't need to go in your cart to dismantle any of the wiring. If you're not sure what those cables are, we gave you some pictures here. And some other things on this page that we just want to point out to you is take some time, please, to clean up your electronic equipment. They will work much better if they are dust-free. There's some cleaning supplies indicated for getting rid of the dust on electronics and also for cleaning the screens. Do not move any computers, carts, projectors, or printers, or other technology equipment without first checking with the tech team. Even if you are changing rooms, equipment should be left in the old room, and that includes printers. Please do not unplug any FCPS printers. You do need to unplug your cart, but not your printers. The network cable and the power needs to be kept in place. If you are giving a summer assignment, please read the directions on the website Summer Assignment Updates tab. You can review the assignment you gave last year, but you need to make any necessary revisions to the assignment in Microsoft Word or Google Docs. So to review your assignment, click on either one of these links. Here's the high school assignments that were posted on the website last summer. Notice the numerous amounts of assignments there are. And also the middle school assignments that were posted on the website last summer. It's really important and very much appreciated that the assignments get turned in to me by June 13th, 2014. SBITs don't work in July, so I need a couple of weeks to get all these organized and posted on the summer assignment. And when you have your assignment revised, email the assignment to me at kamiller5@fcps.edu. Make sure that when you send it as an email that you have revised everything and save it as a PDF. Use this naming convention for the summer assignments. Make sure you list your course name, your grade level, the summer assignment, and 14. So for example, if you taught English 9, you would say English-9-summer assign-14. For supply list, if you teach in the middle school, I know that 7th and 8th grade have the supply list per grade level, so you could do grade 7 supply list 14, or in the high school, if you have a supply list for Algebra 2, for example, you could say Algebra 2-supply list-14. No updates will be done to the summer assignment page during the month of July. SBITs are not here, and we will not be doing any updates for the web page. So please adhere to the deadline of June 13th. Thank you very much. You can find what needs to be done in your classroom by going to the classroom cleanup page. Make sure that you take all personal items home. And again, just to review the tech page, these things need to be done with the technical equipment in your classroom. Our equipment is owned by FCPS, and all those who use our building in the summer should be able to have full access to everything, including projectors and printers. We hope you have a successful closing, and we hope also that you have a nice summer. And we look forward to seeing you again in the fall. If you are transferring or retiring, we wish you well in your new endeavors.